The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Eilon Baer. Eilon is the data science team lead at Explorium AI. Eilon, welcome to the show.
Thank you, JP. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So, Eilon, let's start with yourself, please. Can you give us a bit of background on your journey in technology, from where you got started, some of the roles you held along the way, and take us up to today as the data science team lead for Explorium?
So I was originally born and raised in Israel, and my path with the data began. Eventually, I was able to move into more of a BI developer position, where I was working heavily with databases and learning the ins and outs of SQL and building dashboards that allowed users to gain insight and knowledge from the data that we collected. And that led me to a position where I was working on a platform that allowed us to build dashboards and connect data sets more efficiently, which was a great segue into jumping into Explorium, which in my position there, I'm a customer-facing data scientist and started as a data analyst, moved to the data science position, and now lead one of our data science teams, with kind of a similar responsibility of connecting the value that we provide to our customers and how they view our platform and how they get value from our platform to the product and the platform enhancements that we're able to contribute to by understanding the needs and necessities of the industry.
Excellent. So I want to spend a bit more time talking about your journey from data analyst to now team lead, having done the customer facing work. But before we do that, so that our audience knows what you're working on currently, tell us all about Explorium AI, who you are as a business, what the mission of the organization is, and what you're doing for your customers. And then we'll talk about your role.
So Explorium AI is building an external data cloud. And what we mean by that is we're providing a single pane of glass for our customers and users for all their external data needs. We initially began with a focus on ML-oriented problems. So supervised learning situations where the customers would have data sets that they try to build the best model out of, but would reach some sort of a kind of a glass ceiling in regards to the performance, and then realize that a lot of the enhancements were not really coming anymore from the algorithm side and from the modeling side, which has been to some extent commoditized, but more so from the data side. And that's kind of the main idea in Explorium, is that with better data and more broad data, analysis can become more advanced and more accurate, and just kind of expand to many new situations and value points. So Explorium is building that tool focused on both ML-oriented solutions, but also just providing additional external signals for any type of a data project, and being able to enrich existing data sets and also generate net new audiences using external data and consolidating multiple sources. So at the moment, we have kind of three main angles by which we provide that external data, being audience generation, data enrichment, and then predictive data discovery. And that allows us basically to provide our users with a channel by which they can connect to external data sources and see consolidated signals that represent the same thing, but get the best of all worlds in one single platform.
As you've spent some time working directly with the customers, helping them understand the benefits of Explorium's platform and how they go about maximizing it, can you give us some insight into the types of customers that you're working with, how they're going about using Explorium, and what are some of the benefits? Give us some real life impact of how you guys have been able to help your customers with this data.
Yeah, absolutely. Explorium actually, with the idea of being one platform for all external data needs, can provide value for a variety of different industries and a variety of different personas. So we have some customers that came in with a machine learning problem. They have the data that they need to train the model, and they have even an existing model, but they're looking for better data, and they're looking to find a way to examine external data sources and figure out what external data would work best for them, and how much would it actually contribute to their model. So some of our users are running some of their models within our platform to discover which external features out of thousands that we have within our databases provide impact on their model, and they can measure that based on the generic ML evaluation metrics for each use case. They have their own metric, and then pick and choose the signals that provide an uplift and provide an impact in accuracy for those specific models, integrate those into their pipelines, and then the impact of the models that they've already built. So that'd be one scenario, and that'd be working with data scientists and ML engineers. In different scenarios, we're more focused on data enrichment, in which we could be working with business analysts or marketing analysts or revenue operations or sales operations analysts as well, that have an existing data set. Could be a customer base, a lead base, a list of locations that they'd want to get more context and more color on. And using our platform, they're able to connect to a variety of external data sources and then take an existing data set and append additional signals to it that can later on be populated straight into their databases and provide just more tools and more material for their analytical processes. So it really varies. We work with a wide variety of different customers and users within the organization, all focused on connecting existing data sets to external data sets or sourcing data from external data sets directly for the customer.
I'd like to now spend some time talking about the team and getting some insight into what it's like to be part of the data science and engineering team with Explorium. Obviously, you've been there for several years now and you've worked up from analyst to now leading the team. Can you describe the current environment? How many people are on the team, what the current makeup is, and what a typical project looks like from initiation to completion?
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with kind of a broad view of Explorium in general, and then zoom into the customer-facing data science organization, which I am part of. Explorium, like many tech companies, has an R&D organization, which is focused on our platform and the tool that we provide to our users. We also have a data organization, which focuses on our data assets that we generate by either connecting to public sources, to premium data vendors and providers that we partner with, and then expose their data through our platform. And then the third organization is the customer-facing data science. So although we have data scientists across the organization, some more focused on the platform side, some more focused on the data side. In the customer-facing data science org, we're focused naturally on using the platform as a consulting tool. So we'd work with our customers both pre-sale and post-sale to help them understand how to use our platform, help them scope which use cases could be beneficial, and then onboard them to the platform and work with them to build out roadmaps that help them to continue to get value from our platform. So my organization is currently comprised of 15 members. I lead a team of 3 that is focused on pre-sales in the States. And we basically act as a technical points of contact within the sales process, work with our prospects to understand what it is that their current state is and what would provide value for them, and then translate that into the best use cases and the best kind of value points that our platform has to offer to show that value, and then to onboard new customers and increase our growth.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
So Eilon, you touched on it there that you lead the efforts here in the US, and you actually moved over from headquarters, which is based in Israel, to take up that role. Could you give us some insight then into what the growth plans are for the US, and with that, what opportunities are there going to be for other data scientists to potentially come on board and join the mission there at Explorium?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been fortunate enough to join Explorium from an early stage and see the growth, and we've been really lucky to kind of find great customers and great partners that allow us to show the growth that we've seen up until this point. And naturally, my move from Israel to the States was part of the company's decision to focus on the US and North America in general, along with Europe, as the main markets that we want to be able to excel in and lead our growth in the industry. And that's where we've seen the growth also in the customer-facing data science role. So we've been hiring in the US. We have offices in New York, and then also an office in Utah, in which we hire for data scientists. And I think a lot of the growth opportunities will be for people that are coming with some sort of data science background or data engineering background, but also very much interested in focusing on the business side and connecting the data processes, the machine learning processes to business value, and especially naturally as it connects to external data. So one of the main benefits of our roles and what we see that we attract with the data scientists that have joined us is a versatility in the role. So we don't really do extremely long projects that are months long and require a lot of research and design, but more quick projects where we get to see a wide variety of use cases, a wide variety of personas and of ROIs that we need to plan and execute on, that allow us to get a really good view of different ways in which machine learning and data and external data specifically can be leveraged and used. So the growth would probably be with individuals looking to connect the business side to the data science, data engineering side.
So that leads nicely into my next question. As somebody who has worked in the customer-facing data science role and benefited from doing so by accelerating your own career, could you speak to what it's like to work in that versatile hybrid type role, and maybe talk about some of the myths that exist around being a customer-facing data scientist? If you were speaking to a data scientist who'd never done a client-facing role before, what is it that you would tell them about the role that you personally have enjoyed from it, and help them visualize what it could be like as a future step in their career?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think there's a variety of different myths that I've stumbled upon throughout my career and my interactions with our customers. I think one thing that I've come to learn is that often connecting to the business side is easier than I thought it would be. I think often when I was in a customer facing role, but on working on more deep projects, longer term projects, the chances to speak with customers and try to hear their side of the story were few and far between. And now when I'm in a position where I get to do that on a daily basis, multiple times a day, I actually find that a lot of the decisions and kind of considerations that I had behind the scenes when I was building out products that were later on used as opposed to the actual solutions are pretty similar to when I'm actually scoping the different solutions. It's a lot of very similar skills, but naturally the schedule changed. I'm much more on meetings now than I was in the past, and I'm doing a bit less coding, but the impact is very much in front of me, as opposed to in the past where you could work on something for a while and not really know where it's going or how much it contributed. Whereas now it's the main part of my day, seeing how we can take what we've done and the different solutions that the team in Israel has been working on very hard to be able to build a platform that is great to use and can provide value. And my part in this position is to focus on the value, show that to ourselves and show that to our customers so that they can communicate that internally and continue to take Explorium to new heights. So I guess it's a lot of doing the same thing, but with different people, which kind of creates different conversations that use the same knowledge, but just need to be presented a bit differently and scoped a bit differently, if that makes sense.
It does indeed. Eilon, really appreciate you coming on today and talking to us. It's great to learn about your own journey. Obviously, congratulations on the success and good luck with the move over to the US. And for Explorium, sounds like a fun and interesting place to work with a lot of opportunity for data scientists. So appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.